You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to give you this thing called life. Electric word like
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Better set up. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back for another round. We are round 9 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports. Kobe Jordan behind the cameras once again, and James Watson back in the booth. How you going, James?
Oh, going good. Interested to see how this race goes compared to how last week went. Curious to see if any of that carries over, and if it doesn't, what kind of race we get tonight.
Well, a few naughty boys last week, and bit of a penalty handed out as well, so we won't talk about that one, but we'll go through the recap from last week at Pocono. We saw Carl Wilkinson-Withy come through to win it while everyone binned it and take his first race win. He did say Fontana was a track favourite of his, so can he come away with another win? Gary Wellman took second place, was just unable to hold on in the final turn, and Adam Ariel with his first podium finish coming home in third. But tonight we are at Auto Club Raceway for 100 laps. We'll bring up the race facts there for you. And slightly longer track, 2 mile track tonight. We've got 80 laps here at Auto Club. So not a 100 lap race tonight, just 80. And 60% fuel load once again with 4 tyres. So we'll bring up our top 10 standings in our championship currently. James, I'll get you to run through those for us.
Yes, sir. Still leading the points is Craig Raffy with Chris Bleakley in second. Cade Donnelly in third, but I don't believe Cade is going to be at this race, so it's going to be a huge points shakeup. Gary Wellman and Scott McClintock round out the top 5. Then we got Nicholas Walsh, Andy Barber, Todd Maxfield, Adam Malone, and Tony Raffy, your top 10.
Alrighty, well, yeah, that's going to shake things up tonight with Cade, unfortunately, copping that race penalty from last week. But I'm sure he'll come back for the final 2 rounds and have a strong showing in those last 2 races. One of being a super speedway round as well, so that'll definitely shake things up for everyone a bit. Just got about 20 seconds left to go for practice, and we'll be rolling over to qualifying. So for everyone at home tuning in tonight, so Gary Wellman, Craig Raffy looking pretty quick out there on practice. So we'll see how qualifying goes for them, and if they can put it on the front row. But we are round 9 now, so things are starting to heat up a little bit and in the championship. So we've got 3 rounds to go, and we'll crown our new championship driver for the new V8 supercars. So it'll be interesting to see and who gets the bragging rights on who managed to conquer these cars in the first season. We are rolling into qualifying now. So we've got D-Mac, Darren McKenzie, coming out on track now for his qualifying lap. So we'll see how Darren goes, and we'll just stay on with him for a moment. Choosing to run that high line out of pit lane. So take us around a lap here, James, obviously with qualifying. So D-Mac running up high on that wall out of pit lane there.
Yeah, qualifying here can be a bit difficult because you think with how big it is and how easy, flat out, you can take it for the most part, it'd be an easy lap. But nah, sometimes certain cars like to take different lines. So you have to kind of practice and see which one the new Gen 3 supercar likes to take. I feel like the name of the game will still be kind of hug the white line as we see him doing right now. But yeah, some cars actually like to run kind of middle or even up high by the wall, which is a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, well, being Auto Club in a 5-lane wide track, it's got plenty of room to move around on, and definitely has a few different race lines there that you can take. And as you see, another car right up against the wall, but will be dropping down low onto the apron for his run in qualifying. D-Mac getting a quick time there, but Troy Davidson shooting to the top in qualifying with a 42.7. So the only driver so far to crack the 7s. Adam Ariel there on screen at the moment. Got a new paint livery for this week. Last week had that Quantum Motorsports paint livery, but just out on his own as a privateer. He's got a new bright yellow livery there tonight for us to keep an eye on.
I like it. It looks like a lemon.
Well, hopefully the car's not a lemon tonight for him. But, it does stand out a bit, doesn't it?
It really does. And if you know anything about my team and the paint schemes I run, bright cars that stand out, much to the chagrin of everyone with eyes. Yeah. So of course I'll look at that paint and go, I like.
Maybe next week, Kobe can chuck up a picture of a paint scheme from your team that you run, just for giggles there, for everyone at home that won't have seen that. But, over halfway now into our qualifying. We've still got about a minute and a half to go, and we've got just over half the field that have set a time at the moment. There's still a few drivers to come through yet. Got a returning driver and a new driver as well to the series tonight, so we'll have to watch out for them and see how they go. We'll give them a shout out a bit later through the race. But we'll go to a ad break. We'll let the qualifying wrap up, and we'll be back with our starting grid in just a minute. Alrighty, we are back, and qualifying's done and dusted for another week, and round 9 of Auto Club. We'll run through our starting grid. Troy Davidson taking the pole alongside with Adam Malone. Gary Wellman and Parian Astakis on the second row. Darren McKenzie and Kim Roffey on the third row. Chris Bleakley and Craig Roffey on the fourth row. Andy Barber and Adam Ariel, your top 10 on the fifth row.
All right, starting 11th, we have the 023 of Shannon Wright and the 16 of Todd Maxfield. Row 7 features Scott McClintock and Shane Roffey in the 61. On row 8, we have Tom Pritchard in the 6 and Nicholas Walsh in the 222. Row 9 features Jay Schultz in the 55 and Tony Roffey in the 85. Rounding out row 10 is Ryan Barber in the 05 and Tim Blundell in the 4. Row 11 features Peter Jones in the 13 and Noddy Tompkins in the 119. The 096 of Lachlan Purvis and Carl Wilkinson Withy, last week's winner in the 65. Row 13 has old Steve Hoppett in the 131 and Michael Ladder in the 60. And that's your starting grid.
Well, it looks like the 20 onwards opted not to run a qualifying time there, so we'll see. A few of them will be, putting in the hard yards tonight to come through the field, especially our race winner last week. But we'll see how that goes. Won't put any commentators' curses on anyone just yet with names. So we'll be nice to everyone on the warm-up lap. But then lap 1, the handcuffs are off and we'll throw down.
Plus, if there's any track on the schedule where qualifying really isn't going to matter, this is definitely one of them. You'd have plenty of places to go and lanes to choose from, so it's not going to be as difficult as, say, Kentucky from a few weeks ago.
Well, we'll see how the race start goes, and let's see if that is words of the wisdom there of James. I always like to make sure I'm either as far up the front I can be, but we'll see. The pace truck. Yeah, it is fun starting at the back though and coming through the field. I mean, that's always fun. But pace truck's off, and Troy Davidson will lead us away with the green flag about to fly. And we're off. Gary Wellman getting a nice jump there with Troy. Looks like, I'm not sure what happened to Adam Malone. Adam Malone's just coming out of pit lane, so didn't even take the front row of this race. So that left a bit of a gap there for Perrin Astagas, I think, in front on the second row there. So it's a little bit of an unfortunate start there for Adam, but sure he'll make up that ground as the race goes.
And thankfully for him, he comes out right still in the lead pack and the lead draft. So he has to give up a great starting spot, but at least he's not kind of out in no man's land.
Yeah, well, managed to come out in the middle of the pack there, and won't lose the draft or anything like that. So have a bit of work to do, but play on. Quite capable driver to make his way through the field. Looks like that might be Shannon Wright there. We just had on screen for a moment. There we are. Just on the inside there. So gotta love that nice wide track. That plenty of room for drivers tonight.
Yeah, this is what I love about Fontana. Way more than a track like Michigan that's similar, but to me Auto Club is just better because you have about 4 or 5 lanes to work with, and really all of them are viable. At Michigan, for most cars, either the first, second, maybe the third lane will work, but like the 4th and 5th lane is like no man's land. You don't really want to run up here. Here, you can run the wall and still have a lot of speed, and in certain cars, the up by the wall is the preferred line. Now, I don't think you'll really be wanting to or trying to run by the wall with these, but the fact that you can have that ability to do so and have it be much more viable than most other tracks, that to me is huge and makes it so much more fun to race.
Well, just while you're on that topic there, just had a massive run there from Andy Barber coming through to take the lead of the race, and looks like Craig Roffey's getting a bit of a slip now as well, looking to try and use a bit of draft there. He gets by Troy Davidson and right up on the back of Andy Barber now. Almost looks like we're going to go 3 wide, just a little bit back there with Todd Maxfield, Darren McKenzie, Gary Wellman coming through the corner there. So we could take it 5 wide tonight. I reckon we could make it even 6 or 7, but we'll see if anyone dares push it that much tonight.
And that's the thing too, is because you're able to run so many more Lions and you have so many different cars being able to take different approaches to the corner, you usually get a hell of a lot bigger looking pack. Like look at that massive humanity right there. You don't really see that as much even at like a purpose-built track for drafting like Daytona or Talladega. I mean, heck, even back at iRacing Super Speedway a while back, I don't remember the pack looking like this, but like it just, all of these cars just taking up such a small amount of space on this track. It's just absolutely wild to watch. It just makes the racing look even more exciting just from that alone.
Well, it's not even just the front of this race; it's all the way back through the pack. So
Yeah.
it's just the whole field's just going 3 wide. Like, you know, if we got the lines to line up, it'll be quite good. We could just have a whole race of 3 wide.
Yeah.
Darren McKenzie coming through to take the race lead now from Andy Barber. He's going to get a lap led, and Craig Roffey there, current championship leader. Todd Maxfield coming screaming through on the inside there. A nice run. It's going to look to the inside as well to make a move on Darren McKenzie.
Already got a couple cars on the wall. I saw one of the everything simulated cars kind of get turned up into the wall.
Just go back a little bit there, and it looks like it might have been Shannon Wright's car. Just see if we can get a little bit more on that one for us.
Got one on the apron right now. Steve Hoppett in his brand new Mustang too.
Yeah, so it just looks like Shannon Wright tried to close the door there on Peter Jones, right on that outside line, and just yeah, a little bit of contact into the wall. It looks like there's a bit more contact going on here.
Oh yeah, and look at this battle for a second. All kinds of right side romance.
That's once again Shannon Wright and Peter Jones there. So Peter Jones coming into pit lane now, I believe. And he's just absolutely sent that through pit lane. So I think he's going to be getting a black flag for that one as well. He's probably going to park that car, I'd say. And yep, he's out of the car. So, and he's gone. So unfortunate one there for Peter Jones. Short race done for him. First retiree for the night.
Yeah, I don't think he even made an effort to check up for the pit lane speed limit. I think he just got a meatball and said, "To heck with it. and full sent it.
Well, we'll get back on with the race because the race must go on. And, Darren McKenzie and Craig Roffey up the front there. The elbows are out at the front here. Darren McKenzie.
Look at this.
And Carl Wilkinson with it. He's coming to play. Race winner from last week. He's up the front and he's muscling his way through the pack here.
Yeah, just endless kind of side swipes onto everyone. Like, I think I saw Craig and Perry do it a couple laps ago. Just everyone just full sending it. This is great. And knock on wood, cleaner so far than last week.
We've got Ryan Barber coming through as well. So Ryan Barber's having a pretty good run here as well. Started out 19th. Carl out of 23rd, and they're up in the top 3 at the moment. So they've really worked their way through this pack in 12 laps, and they're at the front. Bit of a single line forming in behind them now, so things starting to settle down maybe a little bit behind in the pack. Ryan Barber looking for that move for the lead on the inside. Carl looking to give that one to him. A little bit of brake lights there, as you noticed. Definitely looks like we got that single line now up high, so things starting to settle in. But in saying that, now Carl wants to take that race lead back again.
Yeah, you do wonder what the strategy is going to be for a lot of the guys that are in the tail end of the field. You know, what can you do to try to get yourself out of the danger zone of that midfield on back with all the cars just battling? Like, how many guys just try to sit back, get some laps in, and just wait for things to kind of fan out, wait for cars to take themselves out, and then try to make their moves late in the race? But so far we see a lot of guys just saying, heck with that, full speed ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't think it'll be much of a tyre race tonight at Auto Club, and I don't think you'd be able to save much fuel either on a sprint race like this. So, in saying that though, you got Gary Wellman who's dropped sort of mid-pack, so he'll probably be trying to save a little bit of fuel, maybe trying to see what sort of strategy is going to work tonight.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to that stuff, you never really know. You can be surprised at how much fuel you can save in a big pack race like this. It's, you know, becoming this chaotic. I say that as they get into one another for the lead again. My strategy for these types of races, when I know it's going to be a huge pack like this, like you'll always see me, I'm in like back of the pack, just riding, just trying to save as much fuel as I can, so that way when I make my pit stops, I'm able to have a shorter stop by having to take less fuel and being able to get track position that way. And many times I've been able to take a race where I've been running in the 20s all race long, and then all of a sudden with like 20 or so laps to go, when fuel is no longer an issue in any way, and I'm right there up in the mix battling for position. So I feel like you're probably going to have at least a handful of guys wanting to employ that same strategy, while all the guys in the top 10 or so are just absolutely throwing haymakers on each other.
Well, oh, contact there.
We are
Wilkinson with you getting spun around by Darren McKenzie there. We might try and grab a replay on that one.
Oh, he's mishtailing. Imagine those tires are not happy.
Carl Wilkinson with you up the front there. Parina Stark is just in behind him. Just have a look at what happened there. Darren McKenzie just coming on screen there. Parry going to the inside. Looks like Darren going to the inside as well. And yeah, looks like just run out of room there on the widest track on iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks it's probably just a side draft that's gone wrong.
Well, hopefully Carl will be able to get back around and back on there and be able to catch up once again. It's a little bit unfortunate there for Carl. He's having a nice, good race there. Speaking of a nice, good race there, we've got Michael Ladder we've seen a few times on screen there at the moment. So haven't seen too much of Michael Ladder through the season. But he started 25th without qualifying, and he's now up in the 4th spot as well, having a nice little run here tonight.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm like, wait, didn't he start like way far back? I'm like, I remember saying his name, and if I'm reading your name on the starting grid, that's usually not a good thing for you, in many ways.
Well, you need to read their name on the starting grid, otherwise they're not starting the race.
Yeah, but I always do like the top 10 on back. So if I'm reading your name, that means qualifying didn't go to plan, and that also means I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of your name. Oh my god! Oh, I don't think he saved it.
I don't think he saved it either. There's the first caution of the night, and that is Andy Barber, I believe.
Oh, I got a Simboy's car around too.
Let's go to a replay. Lap 21, our first caution of the night coming out. And go and have a look at that one, see what brought that one out. Got a bit of a 3 wide there. I think that's Todd Maxfield, Andy Barber, and Craig Roffey. Nice little run there for Andy Barber. A little bit further up the track. He hopes it's not his son that's done this one. Ryan Barber just in front of him. Whoa!
Oh, holy gecko!
Huge. That rear just let go on his car. There's just nothing there.
That's just.
That is huge.
Yeah, I have no words for that.
Yeah,
and
that's very unfortunate. Huge contact there as well. I'm not sure who cut.
What?
That's Nicholas Walsh. I'm not sure who else that was in the black and green car there.
What happened to Walsh?
That's Jai Schultz there. So Jai was first race for Jai for the new season. Has run the V8 Supercar Series before. Bit of a blink there from Adam Malone in front. Coming up here, there's Andy Barber losing it. And that's the first impact there on Jai Schultz, and
just gets clipped at the end, and then
there comes Nicholas Walsh. So not sure if we can catch one on Nicholas Walsh there. See what happened with him. Looks like maybe trying to avoid in front there, and
Oh, just
yeah, a little bit too much of an avoidance, maybe carrying too much speed, and
yeah, it just
pull
looks
that one
like
up.
the rear kind of kicked out on him, like going down the seams suddenly just kind of upset the rear of the car and just kind of turned him one way and then kind of turned him back the other way. And speaking of that, it sucks for Andy because Andy almost saved it. That was a heck of a drive to. He saved it once, but unfortunately it snapped again, and yeah, he wasn't able to save it the second time. That some of my degenerate friends in the open wheel community refer to overcorrect that violent as a Gordon Smiley. If you don't know what that means, good. I highly recommend you keep it that way. You don't want to know what that what that means, trust me.
Well, now you've said, you're going to have to enlighten everyone at home. Well,
let's just
before you give it away then, James, like Kobe's just saying, everyone put in the chat and take your best guess at what a Gordon Smiley is, if you know. But Pace Car Truck's out already, and Ryan Barber's going to be taking us to the green flag this time. So that was a nice quick caution there. Start there, but not sure about that lane change. It might come up a bit later. Everything's sort of settled, and off we go. That last caution, Carl will be thanking the gods for that one. He'll be back in this pack once again now. Looks like we've got Southern Stars trying to make their way to the front as well. So you got Ryan Barber at the front there. You got Darren McKenzie just in third there, and Adam Malone on the outside. In a bit of a race with Perry Anastakis and Todd Maxfield there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ryan, you know, his dad's car is pretty tore up, but thankfully he's got a lot of other teammates on Southern Stars to kind of work with. Oh my goodness, Andy's actually back out on track. That is, I did not think he was going to be able to get that thing back out there with the hit he took. How about that?
Well, you don't need a front bumper, so I'm sure he'll sign that one. We had a few last week we gave away with driver's signatures on, so Andy's got one for someone at home tonight.
Yeah, and heck, with the with all the great repair jobs we saw last week, with all those cars that were completely demolished only to come back later looking pristine, a few more cautions and a few more opportunities to get that thing worked on, and he might not be out of this after all.
A bit of a cheeky move there from D-Mac, just shutting the door on Todd Maxfield coming through so they can try and control this race. Southern Stars at the front there.
Yeah,
Todd will appreciate that one too much.
No, he got away with it now. Tries it again in another 40 or 50 laps. It might not end the same.
Well, just looking there on screen, we've had 13 lead changes in 27 laps, so almost half the field, but probably not quite everyone through that half of the field that's led a lap. We'll go to the chat for the moment. So we're going to get Sarah Jesberg to make some predictions, even though she doesn't want to. She's going to. After last week's predictions went so well. I'm sure she can make it 2 weeks in a row. And RJ tuning in once again. Good evening to you. Not the way you wanted to see Andy, but still out there, still circulating. So see how he goes. And you got Ryan Barber there at the front leading the race at the moment. But, yeah, there's not many takers on what the Gordon Smiley is, and Google didn't help Sarah, so you might have to enlighten that one, James.
All right, Gordon Smiley was a IndyCar driver in, I want to say, the 70s or 80s, and I believe on a qualifying attempt at Indianapolis, it got sideways on him. He tried to save it, and he overcorrected back up into the wall. He did not survive. And he did not survive in a particularly gruesome fashion. So, yeah, that's why I recommend not to research it any further. I only have a very, very small amount of details on how he didn't survive. Enough to know I don't want to know the full story on that.
Well,
so there you go. A little bit of racing history for you.
Well, I'm sure these days that doesn't happen as much, and
thankfully not.
The safety that all these race cars have these days compared to the 70s. So we've got Todd Maxfield out the front now, and Michael Ladder coming through once again. Darren McKenzie looking for the inside there. So, bit of back and forth at the front here. Lap 32 of 80, so we're...
oh no! Oh, there's more neck code! And, oh my goodness, they saved it. How on earth? Wow.
I don't know if we can bring up a replay on that. That was pretty hairy, that one.
Yeah, if I was like everyone from like 5th on back, I am thanking my lucky stars that they saved it. Yeah, oh, let's double tap on net code.
Well, they say like father, like son, and they both copped a bit of net code tonight, and I believe that's both from Michael Ladder, so maybe something going on there.
Yeah, Ladder net codes into Ryan, who then net codes into the 16, and they're sideways and oh no! Oh, good gracious! The saves that we are seeing.
Well,
now that everyone knows what a Gordon Smiley is, they are doing everything they can not to recreate it themselves.
Well, that was Carl Wilkinson Withy coming back through again, so maybe just a little bit of a return serve as he's coming back through. But no one's wanted to give an inch on this track tonight, and
no.
Like I said, it's one of the widest tracks tonight compared to Pocono last week, where you could only sort of run 2 to 3 wide, and the elbows are out there, and now we've got a wider track and a big flowing track, and the elbows are still out.
And the problem is even if you try to give an inch, Netco's just gonna take it and go, nah, you're hitting him anyways. Good luck.
Oh
no!
And here comes the big one.
Yep, and Gents, I think that was more netcode.
I don't think I want to comment on this one. We'll go to a replay, but yeah, I think this is some more return serves in tennis. We'll have to have a look at this one. Okay, Withy up the front there, and a push from Darren McKenzie in the wrong way, and round they go.
Yeah, upon further review, I don't think there was actually any netcode involved in that one. I thought I saw it at first, but yeah, I don't think that was netcode. It's
Wow.
yeah, that is a thing that happened.
I think that I don't know if that was Ryan Barber that lost his front bumper there going through there as well. So not a good night for Southern Stars, and not a good night for Carl Withy either. No, that's Ryan there. So it might have been Todd Maxfield. Two black and white cars there. So yes, wouldn't want to be the admin on this once again this week. This is race control's going to be handing out some penalties once again, and I think the penalties are only going to get harsher as the rounds go. So 3 rounds left, and
yeah, I can already hear the irritated huff of Steve Hoppett now.
well, we did have the driver chat disabled on track as well, so a little bit on the comms once again, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. Next season's gonna be great. Thank you, Ross Cheatham, there for the subscription as well. Thank you for tuning in and the sub for the channel. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. So this is our second caution for the night now, as we're coming up halfway at Auto Club. So we'll go to a quick ad break, and then we'll come back just before we go to green.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone, and we are here round 9 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series. 38 laps in, our second caution for the evening. And this time round we'll have Adam Malone taking us to the green flag with Michael Ladder alongside. Got Noddy Tompkins up there in third as well. So nice little run from old Noddy there.
Yeah, Autobots assemble with that That nice bumblebee paint scheme.
Well, pace truck's off. Green flag's about to drop. And I think Adam getting a nice jump there, going early.
Yeah, not a great restart from ladder on the outside.
Yeah, I think that was maybe Adam just controlling that restart a bit, and got the jump there. He's got a nice little gap there. Noddy moving into second. So a few drivers behind that'll be coming through. You got Kim Roffey, Shane Roffey on screen there, back on track for another race with us. Good to see them out on track. Bit of a wall scrape there, just in front.
Just a little kiss.
Well, hopefully that's the last of it, and everything will settle down for this race now. We're rolling over that halfway now. 40 laps down, 40 to go.
Funny you think that.
I like to hope so. We think it, and we hope so, but anything can happen, so...
Oh, buddy, I don't think we've seen anything yet.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure we might be in for some more blinking action, some more netcode action maybe. So, it'll be an interesting one up the front anyway. There goes the ladder. Craig Roffey on the outside there, your championship leader at the moment. Giving plenty of room there. Wellman in behind. And Shane Roffey, Parry Anastakis in behind Wellman. Another blink further back in the field as well. So, a few connections causing some grief tonight.
Yeah, and just so much netcode. Like, honestly, it just kind of feels like a theme on the sim in general. Like, it just feels like over the past month or so, netcode has just been at the worst we've ever seen it, really. I've seen a lot of issues with it, not just tonight, but in other leagues that both we broadcast here, Inside Line and completely unaffiliated ones. It's just crazy what's going on, and it's, you know, it's irritating as a driver and as a broadcaster because, you know, no one likes to see races ruined by crashes, and it's even worse when it's crashes that likely would not have happened without some goofy connection issues rearing its ugly head. I mean, yeah, obviously you see some incidents where you're like, yeah, even without the netcode they probably would have died, but tonight the majority of them outside of the last caution was just pure netcode nonsense, and it's just, it's a shame. It dampers good racing when you can't race and you have to worry about even being in the same postal code as someone without triggering something crazy like that.
Well, yeah, that's sadly how it goes sometimes, and Steve Hoppert making his way back out on track, so he'll turn a few more laps. Obviously hasn't had the joys of being able to enjoy some of the racing tonight himself. Back at the front of this race at the moment, Adam Malone's still got that nice little gap there over Michael Ladder. Noddy Thompson coming under fire now. Todd Maxfield on the inside. Craig Roffey in behind.
Yeah, Malone's has done a good job keeping that pretty decent gap this far into the run. I think the whole pack would have completely caught him up by now, but he's been kind of steadily keeping them at bay for the most part.
Yeah, it's about just under half a second there to ladder, so did drop a little bit this time round, so they are slowly closing that gap on Malone. Looks like Craig Roffey moving to the inside now around Noddy, right up high on the wall there. Still managed to slot back in front of Craig Roffey there, so quite good pace right up along that wall there for Noddy. Craig Roffey not quite able to clear. Todd Maxfield getting a nice run up behind Michael Ladder, so we'll see if Todd can make that move. Looks like Kim Roffey there on the inside as well of Shane. Coming through. So, got that pack racing going on once again here, James.
Yes, sir. And they've now pretty much caught Malone within, I think they're just about completely caught up here now.
Well, it looks like Ladder's making a pass for the lead on the inside of Malone. And looks like he's going to get that done as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a slide job too.
Quite good pace there from Ladder out the front, so got a nice run there. And Todd Maxfield's going with him. Craig Roffey again on that inside, trying to make that run through. Todd Maxfield going through the middle.
Man, speaking of connection issues, that Malone's connection not the best right now.
No, and that move there. Oh, we've got contact again. Looks like Todd getting stuck on the front of Michael Ladder's car there, just having a bit of a wiggle, doing a little bit of a dance on the front of his bumper.
Yeah, that was weird.
Let's get a replay on that one. Have a look what went on here. No, that doesn't look like the right replay, so we'll go to the next one. I think this could be it here. A bit of elbow
There's
out.
one door bang. And
there it is. So can he do it? Can he do it? Oh, he can. Just managed to wiggle his way off there and get off the front bumper before something else happened there. So shouldn't be too much damage to either of those cars there. Hopefully they don't get a penalty from that pit exit there, but I think they should be okay there.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. That
it's showing both of them have black flags, so I reckon they've copped a penalty for that.
Yeah, that's what I hate about the exit cone, the pit end of pit road cone being right there. If you're not careful, you just get such a annoying penalty super easy. I remember in the strength of field race for the Silver Crowns here, like 2 years or so, I was running. We were getting ready for a green, white, checkered. I was on the apron trying to cool my tires, completely forgot about that cone, passed it, got myself a EOL to the back on the green, white, checker when I was running third. Still hurts.
Sounds like it. Well, anything goes in racing, and anything can happen. So, make our way through this caution, and we'll be back on green in no time. But unfortunately for Michael Ladder and Todd Maxfield with black flags, looks like Shannon Wright's also got a black flag as well. Not sure for what there, but those three will have to serve that penalty as we go green, and yeah, hopefully they'll be able to find their way back through to the front once more.
Yeah, and I think that was just the incident itself. I think that was just another aggressive side draft gone wrong. You know, it looked like Detco kinda was involved a little bit, but I think they would have made a decent amount of contact without it, because it was a hefty little hit.
Well, Steve Hoppett getting a lucky dog for the Mad Dog himself, so we'll get a wave around, get one of those laps back. As these cautions go, James, it's just opening the door for the next few guys behind to come through in this race.
Yeah, and you know, like I mentioned earlier, that might be the strategy that some of these guys are employing. You know things are going to be aggressive, and you've seen it be aggressive, so you're hoping to just run in the back for most of the race and avoid the next major calamity that might claim most of the field. You know, make sure you miss that, and then all of a sudden half your competition's gone, and suddenly you have a lot less spots to make up.
Well, Craig Roffey will lead us to green this time. Adam Malone on the outside. A few Rogues drivers up there now. You got Perry and Starkis, and Kim Roffey will be starting off the second row on the restart, and Tony Roffey not far behind them. So we're green once again, lap 54 of 80 for round 9 at Auto Club. And Malone getting a nice run on the start there with Craig. Todd Maxfield's going to be serving that penalty this time round. Perrin Astakis for a move to the inside on Adam Malone. Seemed like he lost a little bit of pace around that corner, and here comes Ryan Barber through the middle as well. But there's our three drivers now coming down pit lane. So Todd Maxfield, Michael Ladder and Shannon Wright. But with three wide up the front here. Ryan Barber James Ryan Barber finding his way back up to the front of this race once more.
I just real quick. I just wanted to mention. Just looking at timing and scoring. Chris Bleakley is 5 laps down right now. He's on the track, but he's 5 laps down. P2 in the championship.
Yeah, I did notice that in the list, but we haven't really seen Chris Bleakley much tonight. He sort of, when he started off in 7th, but from the start of this race, I haven't really seen him at all.
Yeah, the first time I had seen him before I started looking for him was back early in the race when Carl got spun the first time. We were watching the replay and I just see Bleakley all by himself coming off of turn 2, like way behind the pack. And so I'm assuming that that's connected in some way, but yeah, that's huge, dare I say, championship implications at the risk of sounding like Rick Allen. But yeah, that's a big deal for the championship, especially with Craig sitting up here in P3 right now.
Yeah, and only 3 rounds to go as well. It's going to make things hard for himself. Car on the wall on the outside there. That's Noddy Tompkins.
Oh.
He's heating up at the front there once more. Looks like we got Tom Pritchard coming through towards the front as well now to say hello. Nice run there, not quite able to make a move for the inside there on Parry. Warren Barber on the outside there. And Shane Roffey in behind Ryan. Adam Ariel up there now. Adam with a 3rd place finish last week, so he's slowly making his way up the front of this race, looking for a podium finish tonight. So about to roll over 3/4 race now, coming up lap 60. Tom just getting the move done now for 2nd place there in front of Ryan. But looking very hairy there coming into the corner. It almost spelt disaster, but we're still going. So I'm making that move for the front now. He's going to get in front of Parry, and Ryan Barber just stopping any run on that inside line.
You know, looking at the middle of the pack, we are seeing a few guys really making those higher lanes work. Like, just saw Wellman in the 45 kind of run the 4th lane and get a good run going. Honestly, a lot more usage of those top 2 lines than I was anticipating, but again, that's what you love to see from this track. And it's also going to make things a heck of a lot more difficult if you're the leader, because at most of the other draft tracks, you really only have to worry about 2-3 lines that you have to block and fend off the runs. Now you talk about having to worry about a 4th line, maybe even a 5th. It's like, oh, come on.
Well, have a look further back in this field here and just jump back there at Andy Barber. He's hanging on to this pack, and looks like he's still got a bit of pace on that car without a front bumper there. So he's he's coming through there.
Yeah, this is crazy. It looks like someone just strapped a wing to a wheel and tour mod, and he's out there keeping up. He doesn't even have his headlights anymore, but you don't need them. You got plenty of lights. But oh man, that's just funny. And he's running 13th.
And ooh, big moment there. He got a big run there. He's even making passes there now. So he's going for drag races down the back straight here.
Andy, the wounded warrior, trying to break into the top 10.
That car's got some serious pace without a front bumper. Oh!
What even happened? We got all kinds of blinking going on. I don't even know what on earth that incident was, because I could only see half the cars.
Well, I'll go and rewind here, and I'll just have a look further up while we keep going, and then we'll see if we can come back to a replay on that. And looks like Adam Ariel into the back corner of Ryan Barber. Around that corner, so trying to come out from that inside line, get a dive into that corner, and Ryan coming down on him, just cop the front of that, and that sort of slowed down. Then he sort of washed up the track into into Shane Roffey there, I believe. So using Shane as a bit of a cushion against the wall. That's what slowed everyone down there. It looks like Noddy Tompkins is retiring from the race as well now.
Bumblebee, no!
Well, didn't have Megan Fox in his pit crew to fix that car, but not sure what was wrong with it anyway, but maybe just turning in for the night. Daylight savings catching up.
Shame too, because having a heck of a run there.
Well, back at the front, Perry Anastakis. But he's got those Southern Stars boys there. Adam Malone, Tom Pritchard, Darren McKenzie. All coming through. Adam Ariel hanging up on the outside there. And then you got Lachlan Purvis, so newcomer to the series. And he's up in 6th there at the moment. But we've still got Andy Barber there. He's moving up some spots with that car. He wants to get up there with his teammates. So Darren McKenzie taking the lead of this race now.
Yeah, we got Bleakley up there too. He multiple laps down, but don't tell him that.
No, that's actually Lachlan Purvis to throw a spanner in the works for you, James. So Chris Bleakley's just circulating around the back there with who's that? Troy Davidson.
Right, it's the exact same paint scheme to Bleakley. That that is mean to your commentators. Like, it's already hard enough to figure out what's going on. Then the exact same car. That is cruel.
Definitely, but this race is almost over. We've got 12 laps to go now. We just rolled over. And as you saw, the front couple of cars, running single and double. Then we had 3 behind. So anyone with a bit of pace back there, going to have to try and do a bit of work to get through those 3 wide cars to try and get that run towards the front, but got 3 wide coming here for the front at the moment. Wonder if we're going to get a 3 wide finish here with the front 2 rows there. It looks like they're trying to line up 3 wide.
Yeah.
Get the rows going back here. So this could be quite the finish coming.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how it will end, but I can guarantee that they will try. Man, I think I saw Malone get a little bit sideways.
A little bit of a door there with Parry and Malone. I don't want that to go south too quickly with coming to 10 to go. Let's get that green flag to finish, boys. We'll see those last 10 laps, some good hard racing. And put on a show for everyone tuning at home. So thank you everyone again for coming along for another week. Putting up with myself and James. And Kobe. You got to put up with Kobe the most.
Yeah. Oh. 4 wide.
Well, we might go on board for a lap. Well, let's get a viewpoint here from one of the cars sort of in the middle there. Maybe jump on with Lachlan for a lap around, newcomer, and just have a look at the crazy shenanigans in front. What's going on? Everyone hard on the brakes there. Looks like Adam Ariel getting a bit of a wash up there, and don't know if that was Chris Bleakley then on the inside, just dropping out through that corner.
The good thing we're already on board with Lachlan, so I don't get confused again. And to add to the chaos, you can see up in the distance, there's a couple of lap cars right there. So maybe lap traffic also getting involved?
That'll be Michael Ladder and Shannon Wright, and then I think further up in front of them you got Todd Maxfield as well. So if we're going to be still going 3 wide coming to lap traffic, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. No one's going to want to give an inch at the front of this race at the moment. Wellman giving a nice push there to Malone on that outside line. You can see that pretty much cleared Darren McKenzie in the middle there.
Ooh.
So that outside line's getting a nice run on pace there. Sort of turns 1-2, they just lose it a little bit, but down the back straight, you look at that, and they nice push there, and they're still able to maintain that around turn 3 and 4 there. They just drop back a little bit, but once again out of turn 4, they've got a bit of a straight there to get a push, and you can see there once again Adam Malone getting clear on that outside line. So that's where you want to be on that.
There we
final
go,
lap.
4 wide. Look at Rafi.
I think we're going 5 wide there almost.
Oh.
This is very tight. 4 wide there. Parry and Starks, Darren McKenzie, Craig Roffey, Gary Wellman. This is going to be quite the finish here. 4 to go. And we're going 4 wide with 4 to go. We've got 3 wide the front, 4 wide behind.
Man, one of the road cars kind of slid up into Gary, and oh, that almost ended in tears.
Well, there's more cars joining this. Like, everyone's closing those gaps, and it's becoming a handful here for these boys.
Yeah, can put practically the whole field under his blanket.
Perry and Stark's getting a nice run through the apron there and actually clearing everyone there coming back on track. So you got a nice run there. And if I was him, I'd want to be sitting right up on that high line too to hopefully try and get that push. But he's going to have to make that car 5 lanes wide to try and stop any run here with 2 to go.
Yeah, he got some serious momentum running that very inside line. But a lot of it dissipated when going down the back straightaway, so if they can figure out how to do that again, this time through 3 and 4 to get that gap, it's a race-winning move.
Looks like Craig Roffey to the inside, making a big run for it now. Up the inside there. Oh, a little bit of contact with his teammate too, with Parry.
Road on road violence. Oh, we're 5 wide coming
Wellman's off.
Oh, hang on to it, Gary. Oh, he saved it, but he's kind of...
He's to the back of that pack now, so not able to hold that through the grass.
But he's not out of it if they kill it all of themselves off of turn 4, which is possible.
Parry coming back for more. He wasn't happy with that from his teammate. He's coming for that inside, and not sure he's going to get that run though. White flag's out. Craig Roffey's going to get that run on the high line with the wall, and he's going
Craig gets it.
The checkered flag.
Wow, what a power move from Craig on that final lap.
Ooh. Well, that kept us on the edge of the seats for the finish there. The fireworks are going off for Craig Roffey down the back straight, but unofficial results. Craig Roffey coming home with another win. Tom Pritchard finishing second, and Parry Starkus third. Darren McKenzie fourth. Lachlan Purvis with his debut race with a top 5 finish. Kim Roffey in sixth. Nicholas Walsh in 7th. Adam Malone in 8th. Adam Ariel in 9th. And Scott McClintock rounding out the top 10.
And finishing just outside the top 10 is Tony Roffey in the 85. Gary was up there in the thick of it, but had to make that save and fell down to 12th. Got Andy in the modified finishing 13th. Shane Roffey finishing 14th. Ryan Barber coming home 15th. Todd Maxfield 16th. Michael Ladder 17th. Troy Davidson 18th. Shannon Wright 19th. Those were all the cars with the penalties from the last caution. Chris Bleakley P2 in the championship coming home 20th. And then Bumblebee, Naughty Topkins in 21st. Steve Hoppin, 22nd. Carl Wilkinson with the last week's winner, 23rd. Jay Schultz, 24th. Peter Jones, 25th. And Tim Blundell, 26th, who I don't even think took the green.
No, I don't think he did, but two road cars on the podium tonight. Craig Roffey with the win and Terry Mustakis third, so getting a bit of celebrations going on there. And we'll let them have their moment. Absolutely destroyed that track logo now as well. So we'll send Rogue Sim Sports the bill for that one for Auto Club.
It's the Auto Club. They signed up for it.
Well, we will go to a quick ad break and we'll get the drivers up in the booth for a chat post-race. We'll be back in just a moment.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed, and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, we are back. That is round 9 of Auto Club done and dusted. And the Doogie Mobile Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series. On Inside Lane Productions Quasi Esports, we have our podium up in the booth with us. And starting off in third place, we have Parry and Astakis. Good evening to you, Parry.
Good evening, guys. What a race. That was amazing.
Yeah,
That was good fun.
we thought we were going 5 wide for the finish there. We were getting pretty close to it. I thought you were looking pretty strong to take the win on the race there, but big move there from your teammate Craig Roffey, and sort of lost a little bit of pace there, but a bit of rubbing and racing.
Yeah, no, it was good. I just didn't want to sort of finish, in a pile up, so I just wanted to bring it to the end. Anything in the top 5 I would have been happy with, but third place is good. Led a few laps there, which was fun. Great racing with Darren, Tom, Craig, a lot of the boys. It was good fun.
Yeah, well, we had a few hairy moments there. The elbows were definitely out again tonight with a few guys, and we had a couple of cautions there, but a lot more room tonight to be able to race a bit harder than Pocono last week.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good fun. It was good racing from everyone. Yeah, a couple of incidents there. I think they were just got tangled up. I was lucky to avoid them and survived to the end, which was good.
Yeah, well, the car looked pretty clean, and you kept your nose out of trouble. And that found your way to the podium. You had a bit of pace there tonight as well. As most weeks, you've been showing a bit of pace there as well. So hopefully the final 2 rounds coming up, you can bring home another couple of podiums.
Which is good, because I'm not travelling the next couple of weeks, so I should be able to finish the rest of the races, which is good.
Yeah, nice. Well, we'll see you on track. I think we've got a week off over Easter, so nice little break for everyone. But yeah, any shout outs to your sponsors and everyone at home?
No, just well done to all the Rogue boys. They did really well today. Our online sponsors, which is great to help us. My real life sponsors, Winmax Brakes, Penrite, and the Apra Series cars. So thank you for supporting me.
Alrighty, thank you, Perry, and well done on the coming home third place tonight. But, we'll pass you over to James now.
All right, Tom, that race was pretty mental with everyone kind of all up in a blanket, just the huge blender of cars. Did you think you were going to survive that?
Yeah, I took I didn't take tyres on, I think it was like the third or so last safety car, and there was about 30 to go, so it meant I had 2 sets coming into that last 25 laps or whatever it was, so that was really a big advantage because I was able to take then tyres on the rest of the pace cars coming in, and I think a lot of people didn't do that, so I had pretty good tyre life coming into that last little set of laps, and I was able to take advantage of it. So it is pretty remarkable when you've got fresh rubber how much you can you can get around there a little bit quicker.
So going down the back straightaway on the white flag lap, you found yourself in a bit of a rogue SimSport sandwich there. Did you have any plans you were trying to come up with it being a bit of a 2-on-1 fight coming to the checkered, or were you just waiting for any opportunity to kind of reveal itself?
Yeah, I knew I had pretty good pace through the corner, and I knew that the 2 boys, Craig and Parry, were going to be they were going to be fighting pretty hard themselves. So I just tried to pick the gap, and I saw a gap through the middle, and I thought, oh well, a bit of faith that Craig and Parry won't take me out, and just held on to it. I kind of thought I might have enough pace to get over the top of Craig, but he was too fast tonight. So happy with second. It's the way it goes.
So we saw a good chunk of incidents involving netcode tonight. Was that any worry for you? Was that starting to creep into your mind with some of the moves being made?
Yeah, I saw that netcode with Andy. That was pretty. I've never seen a netcode that big before. It's about as big as a netcode I've ever seen. Because no one was even near him, so it was very odd. But no, you don't think of. Well, I don't think about netcode. Just if netcode happens, it's a. You know, you worry about that then. You just got to race hard, and this is close racing. All these boys, everyone's very fast. So everyone's got to kind of, you got to race as hard as you can, and that requires going right up next to people and rubbing doors, basically. So for that reason, you just keep on going, and if netcode happens, then you deal with that then.
All right, Tom. Well, that was a heck of a battle out there and a heck of a run. Got any sponsors, shout-outs, or plugs you want to make?
Yeah, I'd definitely obviously my teammates, Southern Stars, Steve Hopper for putting this league on, you guys for doing the broadcast, and also my housemate for bringing me some snacks during that race. That was pretty good. So.
Alrighty, back over to Paul for our race winner.
Alrighty, thank you, James. And we are back with Craig Roffey in the booth once again for another win. So, Craig, welcome along once again.
Hey, fellas. What a race, eh? That was pretty, heart was pumping. No, it's good.
Yeah, well, your heart would have been pumping at Pocono last week out of turn 3 and 4 at the end there, and another moment down to the last corner there for you again.
Yeah, it was. Luckily, it ended up in my favour, so it was good. The race was, compared to last week, man, it's a total turnaround, even with more people. So it was good to see a couple of little spins here and there, but overall, I think the racing was a bit better tonight, from my side anyway, from what I could see. And yeah, nothing else to say about that.
That's all right. Well, no, we got into it a little bit last week, and got a price to pay next week. But Talladega starting off the rear, but we'll rinse that one for this week, and we'll see that one next week. But yeah, that big dive bomb move towards the end there, coming down the back straight for that last corner. So you think you're going to manage to pull that up, or you had a little bit of a moment there with your teammate, but didn't quite lose much pace yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm coming up to that point. I was saving tyres. I didn't want to push too early, and then that diver, I'll call it a slide job. Yeah, because I knew the other guys were going to pull up a little bit, so I just slingshot past. And then, yeah, I was talking to Parry. I'm like, I'm on the inside. And then we come together a little bit. But, yeah, Parry held it together, and, yeah, we went on and first and third. So, good.
How much sort of tyre damage was getting done at Auto Club tonight?
Had none on the rears. But that last one, I was pushing 29 laps. There got to 50%.
Yeah, right. A bit more than probably expected for Auto Club.
Yeah, the last after the last caution, it was just you knew you could make it to home. So it's just push. So and then yeah, but the first couple of stints, I was just saving. I was clutching. Yeah, I was hoping for it to go green all the way to try a two-stopper, but wasn't to be. But we came out with the chocolates.
Yep, well, sweet as chocolates are. We'll let you have a shout out to your sponsors as well.
Yeah, cheers. All the road boys that rocked up tonight. I think we had 5 or 6 of us with the early start. So the other Roffey boys, they had they had time to come in, do the race, and then they'll go to work. MD Sports, thanks for tuning in as always. Who else we got? Sorry, I'm a bit muddled here. We got Elite Repairs with on Rick's side. I don't know where he is. I think he's a little bit busy doing something. Tramaco Motorsports. You guys doing the broadcast and all the admin that goes into behind the scenes and everything. Yeah, mainly Steve. So keep it up.
Well, thank you, Craig, and good job. That's definitely going to strengthen your championship points. 2 rounds to go now, and yeah, looking probably taking that one home. Bit of a poor result there for Chris Bleakley tonight, who was second, and obviously third, not running tonight. So that'll help you to bring home that championship trophy.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, so we just aim for top 10 next week and should seal it.
Yep. Well, next week. Speaking of next week, we move on. So we go back to Super Speedway racing, and that is none other than Talladega. So we'll be seeing some shake and bake next week.
Definitely. Should have hopefully 7 road cars in, so should be good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There we go. Well,
gotta bring the rain.
Get those teams and those drivers on track, boys. Southern Stars, Sim boys. Let's get these teams going, so we can all line up and have a good, nice, hard race at Talladega.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go and enjoy those sweet chocolates with your team, and yeah, good to have 1 and 3 Rogue Sim Sports back on the podium once again.
Yeah, beautiful, man. I'll hopefully talk to you next week.
Easy, look forward to it. But yeah, as I said, we move on next week at Talladega. So that was round 9 done for another week at Auto Club Speedway for the Everything Simulated and Doogie Mobile OzOval V8 Supercar Series. Yep, Steve Hoppert putting on the league once again, week in, week out, doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Kobe Jordan on the cameras, James Watson in the booth with myself, Paul Jackson. Everyone tuning in, we are coming to a close on this season. We've got 2 rounds left, so next season, if you want to be a sponsor, jump on. And if you want to join the league as well, you can come and have a race. But it's not stopping you from joining in now. So get a couple of races under your belt and jump in for next season. That is pretty much it for us for another week. James, you want to wrap up for us?
Yeah, tonight was a real good bounce back race for the league. Obviously, last week at Pocono was definitely an interesting time, but tonight, you know, we saw the best this series has to offer. You know, there was a few cautions, of course, but you know, no real major melees, wasn't endless yellows, just a lot of hard, close racing, you know, with almost being 2 rows of 4 wide there coming to the finish, and you know, no major melee coming out of turn 4. So this was a really good race to kind of, you know, be a palate cleanser of sorts for everyone, and just an awesome show from top to bottom.
Well, everyone tuning in, thanks again for another week with us, and look forward to seeing you at Dega. It's going to be a race you won't want to miss. But from everyone in the booth here tonight and our sponsors, we wish you all a good week and good night.